Okay, Baruch Hashem, we have the opportunity, and this has been a very intense week, so we're going to have an intense focus share like we have every Monday, Thursday for me personally, and Baruch Hashem, other chevra, special chevra giving over, also with the blessing from Shlomo Katz and the Kehilas, Shira David, and as we have in mind always, B'Shem Kol Yisrael, all the neshamas of Am Yisrael are hearing this, and not just neshamas Yisrael. But today we're going to do a special focus on Chasidat Umas Olam. Specifically, we're dedicating the shir to unusually, which we should maybe be more usual with, because if we understood the importance of the Umas Olam right now, before Mashiach comes, we'd give them a bit more of a focus in our dedications. But people dedicate for Trump. But we're going to dedicate now for Charlie Kirk and his family, Erica Kirk, I think her name is, his wife and his children, and everything is Hashgacha Pratis. We're also going to dedicate for the 6 korbanos that were killed this week in Yerushalyim, Ramot, and we're going to dedicate also the 4 soldiers, Kadoshim, in Gaza. I want to say a little Chiddush to just get going before we begin our Likutei Halachos. B'Shem Rabbi Menachem ben Feigo, Menachem ben Simcha, and his Talmud of Nosson should be a mogain for Am Yisrael, is the schus. We're going to just a chiddush that came to my mind, that I didn't make a havdil between Charlie and the korbanos in Eretz Yisrael. Most people would, but this is chutz b'yazgeh, as I've heard from Tzaddikim. There's a certain azaz to kedusha, a chutzpah before Mashiach comes, to say things that previous generations would never say. That's part of our schus. It's an asoyan to have chutzpah, but it's also, as the Gemara brings, but it's also gives us ability to do things and to speed up the Geula Be'ez Hashem, the core of Mamish. So the concept I had that came to my mind is there's 6 holy Yidden in Yerushalyim, alongside the 4 soldiers in Gaza, which is 10, not a stammer number. And the 11th, I'm going to be Mechadesh. In my opinion, it's this Charlie Kirk. He is the Chelbana. Now what does that mean? There's 11 spices in the Pitum Ketoris, in the special incense offering, and the idea is that we are malaket from all the different joining together, all the different halakim, all the different parts of Am Yisrael, and we're offering up a korban to Hashem, and this is the sacrifice we're offering up. In this case, is an incense offering, in order to sweeten, like it says by Yom HaKodesh, that the full kapara and the full hatzlacha of Am Yisrael's Pitum Ketoris, it has to have that 11th spice, that chelbana, the ones that gives us a strong, intense smell. That's the chelban. And I had a Rebbe, Rav Simai Zilberberg, whenever he'd say the Pitum Ketoris during Kabbonis, before Ashrei and Mincha, or even Shachris if you'd get there early enough, he used to say the word chelbana very loud. You suddenly hear him say chelbana, like very loud, yeah, and then carry on the rest. So the svara I always thought, and I spoke it out with Hasidim by him, the thought I had was, when he's saying chelbana, he's thinking of himself. He's the smelly, strong, intense person that's the chaylik that needs to be mashlim, the kehila, so that it has an inyan of a sibur. Remember, because sibur is Rashi Tevis, Tzadikim, Beinanim, Rishoyim. That's a sibur. You have to have all kinds of yidden. If you only have Tzadikim, you don't have a sibur. So if you only have Rishoyim, you don't have a sibur. You have to have all the types of Jews, all the neshamas. And in this case, I'm adding in the chelbana. This is the chutz b'yazgeh, is this Charlie Kirk. What gives him the schus to be included this week in a korban that we gave to Hashem, a holy korban of all these souls? The way I understand it is that he was one of the Melitz Yosha in this world, and please God up there also, for Am Yisrael. He was, if you watch some of the content from Yishai Fleischer, or Nissim Black, who's coming here this Shabbos, we'll have him for a Shabbaton, Onik by Rav Shlomo, be by my house, also speaking in the shul. We had the opportunity for Nissim Black and Yishai Fleischer to see how strong he was about Am Yisrael, to the point where I heard from someone else who was close to him in London, who said that the way he understood how strong he was about Am Yisrael, because when he was asked in terms of some of the Yoshka stuff, about JC and stuff, he was asked about the future of Am Yisrael. He said Am Yisrael will always be the chosen people and will always have Eretz Yisrael as their homeland. He understood that. He wasn't confused like some other people within that religion get confused about that point. Plus his actions, a father, a husband, everything, anyone's only saying good things except for people who are chol nefesh, they need a refuah shlema, or they're on the wrong side of history. But everyone, Baruch Hashem, who understands he was a good person and was bringing a lot of truth and light, and he had the courage to go out there. And unfortunately, I'm still affected by it, seeing him being killed yesterday, and we were praying alongside the nations of the world. I have even a Yidden right now in Nashville composing a song for him. Now, we're going to get to the Likutei Halachos, so we're going to speed up a little bit, but what's the song going to be about? It was the last post his wife made before her husband was killed, and it was from Psalm Mem Vav, the Tehillim Mem Vav. It says, Namnaseh Livnei Korach Alamos Shir, Elehim Lanu Machzeh Va'oz, Ezra V'Saras Nimsa Ma'od. This is the pasuk she posted just before her husband was killed on X. She posted that Hashem, God, is for us a refuge, va'oz, and strength, a help in distress, very accessible, nimsa ma'od. And this whole Tehillim goes in this direction, Mem Vav. I had an experience personally that years and years ago, I mentioned that I have a kesher, right now it's Chayelu. Chayelu is a zman where we're elevating the sparks in the derech of the Baal Shem, the Yom Yeledet of the Baal Shem Tov, the Yom Yeledet from the Balatanya, the Gilui from the derech of Chassidus, the continuation of the Panemius derech, the Maharal Prague, who's Yotzai, is also today. We're going in that path, and through Chabad, we have the Messiah that you should say the psalm of the year to come from Yom Yeledet. So Rav Shlomo recently mentioned to me, you're 45. Rav Shlomo, he said, you're 45, you've got to, get up and do your thing, 100%. So I'm 45 doing my thing. So what's the psalm I'm saying this year? Psalm 46. Psalm 46 is the psalm. So for me, it was like very profound. Of all the psalms she could have said, the Tehillim she could have said, it was the psalm that it's my Yom Yeledet year. And Rav Shlomo, this just a week ago, in order to do this whole series that we're doing, it's a relationship flow focus, and we're going through different points of chizuk in marriage that we're getting out from the Shulchan Aruch, from the Likutei Halachos, that would come out, the pasuk, the year he said, 45, you've got to do it. I said 45 is also mem hayes, bittul, so you've got to be bittul, you've got to nullify yourself as a big nekudah of chayelu. To have the chiyas, you have to have a butless. Just for anyone out there who thinks that the Rebbe's Das Torah is chas v'sholom is not applicable, you have to have bittul to the tzaddik, and it's a metalos to go in any other way. Yes, and I spoke about that in the shir on Tanya. Whoever wants to listen can hear I explain that. But back to this point from Charlie Kirk's wife, and he should, he was probably in Gan Eden, and whatever that level that is for a non-Jew. Every heichel, every place in Shemayim, for all the different souls, there's a place. And we should realize this pasuk is mamish talking to us. That God is a refuge and strength. We need strength more than ever in such times like this. A help in distress. Nimsa ma'od. So I have a Yid in Nashville who right now is making a song about this pasuk. His name's Yair Levi. He's doing it in a proper professional fancy studio in Nashville. He just sent me the video. And one of the people here who brought Mike Huckabee, you might not want his name mentioned, but the person who brought Mike Huckabee, who's the US ambassador to Shul, asked me if he could come, and Yair, if he could come on Sunday for a rally for this Charlie Kirk. Unfortunately, he's in Nashville, but it came out from the conversation, he'll make a song then. So I was pushing it. Let's make a song, and we'll dedicate it. Since the nations connect to Psalms, let's make more. He already does it anyway, Yair Levi. He has thousands of non-Jews drawn into his Psalms, and he's able to bring them up through Psalms, through Tehillim, through David HaMelech. Now another thing happened. And then we're going to get to Likutei Halachos. We will. Oh, so this rally, Nissan Black's now going to go instead of Yair, because he's not in the country. So Bez Hashem, he'll be our representative to go and... Okay, so another thing happened today, it's connected to the Knesset. I used to always call it the base Knesset, It should be a base Knesset, Mokum Tefillah, Bibi today, our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, I'm not going to get into all the details of what it was, but it was a special keness that my son was part of, and he just joined his Mechina, and he was chosen to be the representative for the Mechina and to go speak in front of Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, and all his colleagues at the Kosel. It was a big event. You can look it up. It's on Time of Israel, all the different websites. It was a big deal today, and he had the merit to not only speak in front of Bibi, but also meet him, talk to him. His son sitting here right now. And Baruch Hashem, very proud of him that he did that. Very proud of everything he's doing. He's an amazing, I could go on and on. I won't embarrass him. We don't say hesped for people, yeah? We don't give them hesped until after 120. So it should be a richtige long life. So please God, we'll get to it. But and please God, with Mashiach coming, you won't even have to say the hesped. But the Nakuda is that I'm very proud of him. What did he say? He went up in front of Bibi, and he said, remember, this whole shir is about Nakudas Tovas. And I'm very happy what he said. He almost said something about Rabbi Nachman, Ben Fega, wanted to tell him that the Mechina that he goes to is representing Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, but that he didn't say. I'm actually happy he didn't say that. What did he say? He said, my Mechina, other than talking about his journey and his life, my Mechina is a place to bring to the world Amunah and light. Faith, real faith, true faith, intrinsic. Amunah is more than just faith. It's intrinsic belief, which is another thing this Charlie had. As a non-Jew, he had very deep faith. It's deep. It's from experiential belief. It's not just external faith. Deep Amunah and awe to the world. He shook Bibi's hand, and then he went after Bibi a little bit, and he says, I want to give you a bracha that you should go in the derech of David HaMelech. So he said to Bibi. He gave Bibi a bracha today. And by the way, this is the Kosel, yeah? So Kol HaKavod, that bracha should be Mechina b'shleimus, because if Bibi goes in the way of David HaMelech, we're talking about Melech Mashiach, yeah? That's what we're looking for. We want to head in that way, all of us together. And Bibi's a big Boki in Tanakh, so I think that was more shaykh to him, to give him a blessing for David HaMelech and not Rabbi Nachman. Maybe it wouldn't connect as much. You have to connect to people where they're at. So this is the 6 points. We got to 5 already. We've had 5 sessions. And the Kudas Tavos Wuna Shkamas Boker. We said Moda Ani is to thank Hashem. This is the first point. To thank Hashem, to have relationship flow. To thank Hashem, you have a soulmate that lies next to you. Not just that Hashem gave you a new soul every day, but to thank you for Hashem, for your soulmate, for your wife. If you have one, if you don't have one yet, it's one you will have one, Be'ez Hashem. And then the second point we said is to focus in on Nekudas Tovas of the people around you. Firstly, yourself. Rabbi Nachman is very strong. You have to find the Ma'at Tov in your Atzma, that's Likutei Halachos. And then you find it in all those people around you. The third point we said is the connection to the Tzaddikim. At the beginning of Shulchan Aruch, it begins with the Beis Yosef and the Ramah. Yosef is Tzaddik, is Mechina's Beis Yosef, and we said the Ramah is Moshe Feinu, connecting into the Rachmim Rabbim of Shvis Hashem Negdi Tamid, this tremendous mercy that Hashem's pouring on us every day. Then we have, that's the third point. Then we have the fourth point, which is development of Esmach Od, of tuning into the Kudas Tovas through Tefillah, through every day Al Malchus Shemayim, through the Shema Yisrael, which is Shema Yisrael Hashem Echad Hashem Echad. Shema Echad is Osias Esmach Od. I will rejoice with that, a little bit of Od. The Eidos that I give to the world, testimony of Hashem's oneness, and you put that into your Shema morning and night. That's the fourth point. And that will give you a key, obviously, once again, by connecting to the Tzaddikim, that's the third point. And by tuning in through Tefillah, strengthening the Nekuda Tova, that will give you more and more Shalom Bayis, because the more you're connected to Tzaddikim and tuned into mercy, and the more you're tuned into the path of mercy and Rachmim, and your Bizgaba and Yetzirah, and the more you're tuned into the path of Shema and the Yichud, the more you're involved with Yichud, the more you will break unity with your wife. Then it brings us to the fifth point. We mentioned last time, I think the fifth point was, if anyone remembers, yes, not Azam al-Chai Ba'odi, that's the famous Rabbi Nachman concept that we're bringing in the beginning of the Likutei Halachos. But there's a Zochali al-Kala Tova, that I should always remember myself for the good. So they're the 5 points we've done. The 6th point today, that I should always remember people for the good, goes together with the 5th. The 6th point is now melakit, as we said, like the Pitzim Ketoris, to draw together all the different spices, all the different aspects of creation to make a nachas ruach to Hashem. How does the tzaddik do that? So it says in the Likutei Halachos, if you open it up, I mean, there's all kinds of, right from Halacha Aleph, and this is all to do with Hashkamas Boker. Remember we said Hashkamas Boker begins now, in the night. So we're preparing now by learning this. That happens, the Maisa Mishkan was all to do with all the different Likudas Tovas. Yeah? I'm still working on finding that little bit of good. Yeah, Moshe was Moshe Nafsho. Aleim nis palawadam. He davened for us. And that's a very important concept, that we need to daven for the Nekudas Tovas. Yeah, and we have to malach, we have to draw it out. So for Shalom Bayis is strengthening how important it is the tefillah and to draw out the good points throughout the day. You know how important it is to give a complimentary word to your wife. You know, one of the things that impressed me by this Charlie, 2 weeks ago, he posted a video all about his wife and his children, how much he loves them and all the good points. And when she got up and spoke, the last post she did before this post was sharing what her husband shared about her, that she got up and introduced him, and it was so positive. You could feel the love, you feel the Nekudas Tovas in their relationship. As even non-Jews, you can see that they're aware of this importance of building each other and being most nefesh for each other. However, even the lowest level souls, Moshe Rabbeinu was most nefesh for, so all the more so your soulmate. Even if a person's gone through Pagam, all the Torah, and he'd done a Avodah Zorah, he goes, we just had a whole Masechta of Avodah Zorah. He'd been busy with all that. He would find in them the Nekudas Tovas. Yeah, that's Moshe Rabbeinu. That's the Likutei Halachos teaching us that from the beginning of the day, this is the Avodah. And he goes on to say, "V'da." And remember, any time we're coming up now. We're in Chayel with 11 days now, 11 months of being fixed during these 11 days towards Rosh Hashanah. From all the 12 months before, that yesterday was already the 12th with Chayel. These last 12 days of the year, we're fixing up, and Da comes Rabbi Nachman and says, Da, that's Olam Atzilas, knows. And it's Rabbi Nosson bringing it down. Shekol echad misadikei ador bona Mishkan. And every generation, there's a tzaddik who's going to build this Mishkan. Yeah, and each of the tzaddikim of the generation constructs a Mishkan. Shemisham b'mikablim tinok shabes rabben hevel piyam she'en bo chet. By revealing the good points of those Jewish souls identified with his own soul, each tzaddik constructs his own Mishkan. And it's from there that little school children receive the undefiled breast of their mouths. Because remember, we talk about Tinok Beis Rabban, the high level of when the children are learning Torah, these pure children. You know, this guy, this non-Jew, he only has a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they're not going to have a father. Nebuch. Yeah? And all the ones who were killed in Yerushalyim, and the soldiers in the Sava, Lahavdil, I'll say it now, Lahavdil, they didn't have the opportunity to build families, these 4 young men. Then teachers who introduced little school children to start teaching them from the opening book of Vayikra, the Rebbe's lesson there. We know the famous Vayikra, that's how you begin the Torah. Yeah? All my kids, they went to Cheder, they all started off with Vayikra. That was the first pasuk. Zeh sadik sheyochel lakit kol hatov nimtzum kol echad. You know, Sefer Vayikra is all about the Mishkan, and Moshe, like the Tzaddik, who is capable of gathering up all the good that is found in everyone. We said how much Moshe Nefesh he is. Hu yedeh kol Mechina sheish b'inyan zeh shamishchanos shabonim tzadikim. He knows and he can play all aspects involved in this matter, Mishkanos that the tzadikim construct. Shemisham b'kadmen tanok shehevel shabiyam she'en bo chet. And as you understand that from this Mishkan the children receive the undefiled breath of their mouths. So I want to just say one more point from Charlie. I saw him in a debate with some real guy with the Cambridge guy. Yeah? What was the Cambridge person saying? He was saying, what about the children? What about the children? He kept going on about, in Gaza and everything. So what did Charlie say back to him? If you just let me finish. I know we got married, but we started late. Everything's late. Wait 1 second. It's okay. Jacob Hop's over here. So the idea of the standing in Cambridge. And I remember I started off with chutzpah yazga, so I have the chutzpah. So he started off in Cambridge, and he's standing there, and he's giving a real speech to the olam over there, and he says to them that every child would understand who's a good man and who's a bad man. Am Yisrael are good. This Charlie understood very clearly, and what's going on over there in Gaza? They're bad men. Yeah, good man, bad man. So the Cambridge Baal Guy, what did he say back to him in the debate? He said that the bad man, good man concept is for children. Your logic is childish. He said, and then what did Charlie say quickly back to him? And this is what we need to learn. We need to learn how to answer up. We need to be able to give over the Nekudas Tovos of our people to the world. And Charlie could do it, we can do it. He said back to them, he said, well, what I've come to realize is that children have more wisdom than all these people in Cambridge. So he said back to them. Okay, it's a good answer, right on his feet. Anyway, it should be a merit for his soul, his family, for Am Yisrael, for all the 4 Korbanos in the Sava, and for the 6 Korbanos in Yerushalyim. Bizocha, please God, no more klalas, only brochas, Parshat Ki Tavo, only brochas and simcha, and Be'ez Hashem, a beautiful Shabbos. We're going to have a very special Shabbos Lichas. We're very blessed to be here in Eretz Yisrael. And Bizocha, please God, to the Gula Shleima, with all the Nekudas Tovos come together, to the binyan of Baya Shlishi that will be forever, the Halam Va'ed.